some background on Unbounce. We are a landing page platform for marketers. So we are based in Vancouver. We are 6.5 years old, co-founded by 6 co-founders. Fun fact, and still standing. Imagine that. We're headquartered here. We're about 150 employees. We also have an office in Montreal. And just to give you like a little snippet of our growth, someone sent out this picture yesterday. So this was our team in 2012. That's like me looking awkward on the bottom right. And we're about 15. And then this is us at our last call to action conference that we held at Granville Island a few months ago in September. So that just shows like we've kind of exploded in growth in the last 3 years, done a lot of great things. But first and foremost, we are a landing page platform, so I'm here to educate you guys on that. So what the hell is a landing page? Don't worry, it'll get like more advanced than this as we go on. But you'd be surprised how many companies still aren't using landing pages, or like when you're talking to people that are doing marketing at companies and they're like, so this is the reaction when I talk to my parents about like landing pages. Because if no one has ever heard of a landing page before, it is really hard to describe one to them. So I usually say like, okay, so you know when you're on Facebook and there's that weird ad on the corner and you probably do click it, because I always wonder who does click those, but it's my parents and they click, and then I'm like, that web page you go to, oh, it's like a website. Like, yeah, but it's a landing page, and anyways, it's very complicated, so you usually either get that, or you get like the people that know what a landing page is and are like, yeah, but they're like not using them effectively. Like the people that are using landing pages and running like dozens of campaigns for their companies with them have this like creepy ass like Nick Cage psychoed grin on their face, and I guarantee you like any like marketers and Unbounce and stuff, like I live and breathe using landing pages for our campaigns. I don't know what we would do without them, and you'll see like why. So yeah, I'm hoping all of you guys have this like creepy ass grin on your faces after today. So the basics. So Indochino, who knows Indochino in town? Awesome company. They are Unbounce customers. So this is their website, and this is your homepage. So you can see that there is a million different call to actions on this page and campaign goals. Well, not campaign goals, but goals, right? If someone stumbles across your website, if you guys are running e-commerce businesses, there is, I wish I counted how many call to actions there were, but 35, 40, right? So if someone's stumbling across your site and it's organic traffic, then that's fine, right? Give them the chance to look around, like figure their own path, add things to the cart, come back. But if you're running a targeted marketing campaign, this is the shittiest experience ever. People bounce, which is why we're called Unbounce. So like, you never want to be sending traffic to your website, and I still see so many smart businesses doing this because it's like an easy way out, or like, I don't know, it's just too complicated, or development work, or whatever the excuse is for not using landing pages. But this is an Indochino landing page. So look at the difference between sending people to that website with 1,001 things that you can do versus this targeted experience. Like, it's insanely different, and the conversion rates you'll get by sending people to your website versus landing page is a huge difference. So this is a landing page built with Unbounce, and I'll quickly go over the 5 core elements of a landing page. So we have your hero shot. So again, what does your product do? Do you have a video that shows how you can use it? Something that's like very visually appealing that people are gonna hit at like right away when they hit your landing page. That's the hero shot. Unique selling proposition, obviously that's your like main value prop. Don't forget it, have it communicated throughout your entire page. Benefits and features, know the difference, right? Benefits are different than features, but make sure you're still communicating both throughout your landing page. And then social proof is huge. Like I see thousands of landing pages where the social proof is either like Tommy J with no image, and it's like this crappy little sentence, versus like the best social proof that converts the highest that we found is social proof. So if you can find tweets, Facebook comments, that sort of stuff, that adds validation, because it's one thing if you just say somebody said this, but it's another thing if they publicly said this on their social networks, and so that validates it even further. So social proof is like super important on your campaign landing pages. And then this is something like I'll hammer home forever. your one conversion goal. Because again, with sending traffic to your website, that has 104 different goals and like basically vomiting all your campaigns into one place. And so this is pulling apart all those different campaign goals and putting it into dedicated landing page experiences. So one conversion goal, and you can reiterate it throughout the page, but you know exactly what they want you to do. So it's like this kind of gives you the value prop of Indochino. You get a sense of their brand. You know, they're kind of like warming you up. And then you go shop their collection. Like, okay, I'm sold. I'm that much more down the funnel. And so their goal on this campaign was just like to continue shopping. But if you're hitting someone through a paid campaign and they've never heard of you before, and you hit them with your landing page, if you hit them with that, like, it's an entirely different experience versus like, hey, so, oh, damn, sorry. Just reiterating my point. Right here, this is like easy to digest. You know, like you have time, like you can communicate your story, you have social proof, and you also can like switch this up, right? You can test things easier than like going in and testing things on your website, which like I know everybody's terrified to do, and it's a long process. So 5 core elements, 1 conversion goal, and then one other thing to consider is campaign experience. So there is a lot of like marketing jargon around this stuff. We are guilty of it at Unbounce. Congruence, information sent, that is something we talk about. Conversion sent is another, conversion momentum, campaign momentum, context of use. I'm a big fan of like no bullshit marketing. Like we kind of make it sound like this complex, like weird thing that you need to like read 1,000 ebooks until you understand it, but it's really not that hard. Like you can distill it into some quick like common sense tips. And this is like my 2 common sense things that I try to like, when you're erasing all those other terms, it's just design around your 1 conversion and campaign goal, and that, again, is so important. Like, and we've been guilty of that in the past, and we've just seen results like, in like crazy difference if you know, like we've had campaigns where our goal is lead gen and new trial starts. And when you start mixing those 2 together, like both campaigns suffer. So like just create a new landing page for the lead gen campaign, for the click-through campaign, social contests or whatever you end up doing, but make sure like you guys are always clear when you're starting your campaigns, like what's the 1 goal, and everyone knows that, and everything you do is designing around that 1 campaign goal. Like everything. Does this like work so people are gonna like complete this 1 goal? If not, axe it. And like keep reminding yourselves that, keep pushing each other that you're working with. Okay, what's our campaign goal? Is that gonna get us there? No, then cut it. So those are the 2 things. Like we've written countless ebooks and stuff about that, but those are the main messages just to think about. It's common sense, but you'd be surprised how many people screw this up. So for example, I hope no one works here at this company, but yeah, I was just searching for a good example for you guys for this presentation. So same day flower delivery, Vancouver. Okay, deliver flowers in Vancouver, same day delivery, you know what I'm looking for. Bam. That is a shitty experience. Again, like how much money are those people putting into their paid campaigns? And that's where you're sending me. Like if I'm same day delivery, you have to consider I'm in a rush, right? So what's my feeling at the time? Like well, I need a sense of urgency. I need an easy answer. And also think about like, okay, what's your goal? It's probably to pick up the phone, right? If someone's searching for that, then your 1 campaign goal should be a phone call. So like sending people to like send sympathy flower, like do 75 different things, like a 1,000-word essay in here, like a million ways to click out, a crazy navigation. If you pull down on all those different navigation bars, there's another 15 pages you can go to through each of those. And again, so many people are doing this. And it's like, so when I said like, what is a landing page? Like, I still am like, we're trying to hammer that message home because a lot of people are still just kind of being lazy and sending traffic to their website. But like, why are you spending money on your marketing if you're doing that? So again, same experience. This was a template I did like last night using Unbounce. And so, but it's the same thing. Like all I did was go in, change the headline, same day flower delivery in Vancouver, bam. As soon as I hit that page, I know exactly what I'm getting. That's what I want. You know, I'm like, I'm in the right place. It's kind of a warm and fuzzy feeling, like, okay, you've answered what I need, versus like, holy shit, like, get me out of here. Again, people need to be doing more of this. And again, like, I threw some of those best practices in. I could obviously go further if I had like longer and a designer, but social proof, 1, 2, 3, how it works. I could add like the benefits and like be a bit more touchy-feely around like the floral stuff. But here, crunch for time, get a beautiful floral arrangement delivered to your family, friends, colleagues, or loved ones by 4 p.m. PT. Explorer collections. Better experience. It could be even better if like a whole marketing team was behind that, but that took me like 2 seconds. And so again, people kind of just get lazy by sending traffic to their website. And another cool feature of Unbounce is we have dynamic text replacement. So you can have this one landing page running. Somebody was talking about running like wine tours across North America, so you're in like 70 different cities. You create one landing page, and you can use our dynamic text replacement feature to sub in all the keywords that you're using for your ads. So, and that converts. We had one agency, and it converted over 400% higher than their campaign that didn't have dynamic text replacement. Like, huge. So this is an example using PowerPoint, but in Unbounce, you'd actually see the difference. So yeah, New York, Seattle, but that makes it, again, that's a huge difference. Like that website that I went to, Vancouver was like hidden in the top left, but like if I'm searching for Vancouver, like I need to know I'm in the right place. And like a strong headline with a relevant keyword that you're searching for is like massive. Okay, so another example of kind of this whole like make sure your campaign is consistent and consider the campaign experience is this. So we just launched this ebook with Campaign Monitor, which is a big company based in Australia and San Francisco. So it's a co-branded ebook guide. We created the social assets. We've worked together on the copy. But that's the social ad that we're putting out, and we're also putting out a bunch of other ads. This is the email. You see what I mean? Like that's the same, you know you're in the same place, it's the same feeling, same imagery, the copy's consistent, it's the same tone of copy. That's another important thing to think about, like what's your tone throughout? People just like optimize the crap out of their landing page and maybe have this really amazing landing page that you hired an agency for, and it's delightful and like the copy's great, but then you had another PPC guy do the ad and it's just like, get rich quick, click here. And then it's like, oh, this will change, you know, like you have to consider, again, that full campaign experience when you're creating your marketing campaign. So that's something we put into every marketing campaign that we do. So this is an email example, and then this is the landing page. So I hope you're getting onto the idea here. But again, so many people are not doing this. And like, I don't know if it's out of laziness or just like not knowing, but just consider, like again, the full funnel of your marketing campaign. And then if you look here, we don't have social proof, our bad, but and that's something we'll talk about down the road. But the main thing is the CTA. You know exactly what I want you to do, right? Everything on this page is designed for you to do that. And we'll talk about it in a little bit, but like the designing around that form, encapsulating your form. There are things you can do design-wise to increase conversions, and this is something we found has been very successful, is having the box around the form versus not, because it draws your eye to that thing, and again, it makes it like very easy to know that that's what they want you to do. And another thing, never say submit. Like every time, 10 out of 10, use different copy and it performs better. So like get the free guide. What are people getting when they're completing this action that you want them to complete? Right? Like if I just say submit, what's going to happen? Okay, I'm going to get this free guide. That's exactly what I want, and so I'm going to do it. So last I checked, this page was converting at 68%. And then even after, so you download the ebook. It's a 26-page ebook, and the last page of the ebook has a CTA, call to action, to sign up for Unbounce. That's why we do these things. And here's a landing page. I changed the URL. So we have thousands of landing pages in our account. So I changed the URL. I created a new page just for this campaign. It has its own tracking on it. And then all I did was change the headline and subheading. How much more delightful is that experience than even just sending you to unbounce.com or to like, try Unbounce for 30 days right now. It's like we have this cheery holiday campaign happening. Like, again, you have to consider the whole campaign experience and don't like get lazy on any parts of that. So yeah, the responsive fa-la-la-la landing page builder for marketers. Why not, right? And okay, so 4 corners of conversion. I'm trying to like condense a lot into this presentation. I can expand on a lot of these things if you guys are interested afterwards. But things to consider when you're designing your landing page are copy, design, interaction, and psychology. So like, you can't just have like great copy or just great design. You have to be considering all 4 of these elements when you're creating your landing page and all elements of like any marketing campaign. So yeah, there's a lot that goes into each of those. I'm gonna share these slides after, so if you guys wanna like look closer at this image and like get any other links for my slides, they'll be in there. But there's so many things to consider. I could dive into each of them for an hour. But yeah, the main 4 are copy, design, interaction, and psychology. And then copy, here's a little tip that has like been a godsend, and it seems so obvious, but every time I tell people, they're like, oh my God, yeah. So use your customer's language, right? Like, there's so many, we've been guilty of this again, where you're in a brainstorming session, or you have your copywriter just come up with this copy, and you're pulling it out of your ass, and you're like, well, this is what we say our value prop is, so that's what it shall be. But there are already people using your product, talking about you, or even if you're a new product, there's people that are talking about your competitors, and what do they like about that? What problem are they saying that they're solving, like even of your competitor product, and use that language back in your copy. So there's a million product review sites out there, G2 Crowd, Trust Radius, you just Google product review sites, and if you can build up reviews, or there's other ways to find out what people are saying about you on social, at events, those types of things, but social and I say like product review sites are awesome, and even just like from customer feedback through Zendesk and stuff like that. But like people are telling you what problems you're solving, and use that back in the landing page copy to sell other people. So this is an example of Pick a Tick, which is a local event ticketing platform. They're awesome, love these guys. And this is like just a random review I found. But like, I realized how much time I've saved. Like, all of the information I need as an event organizer has been right in front of me, and it's easy to access. Ticket purchasers have found that it's easier too to register. Like, that stuff is gold, right? And they wrote it for you. So like, again, use that stuff back into your copy. Don't like start from scratch here. And then another big thing when considering designing for your landing page is attention ratio. So similar to what I said, your like homepage and website versus your landing page. So that website that I showed had an attention ratio of probably like 705 to 1. And so this was just a like A/B test that we ran a few months ago. Actually, probably about a year ago now. This is our old logo. But all we had is these like 6 links. And again, this was what I went back to, is have one conversion goal. So our goal was for you to download that ebook. But we thought, hey, if people are on this page and they're interested in our content, why not like shove a little bit of our blog in there and see if they're interested in that too, and maybe we'll get some blog subscribers out of it. No, like then all these people that would have clicked there get distracted by like, oh, these sound like cool blog articles. Okay, cool. And then they're lost in the black hole of our blog and never downloading that ebook. So all we did was remove those 6 links, and it increased downloads by 32%. So there's a lot of like small tweaks like that you can do if you consider attention ratio, if you consider campaign experience, having that one campaign goal that will drastically improve the success of your campaigns. And I'm not bullshitting you, they really will. And it's just a matter of like having the balls to test this sort of stuff. And then also having like landing pages where, because testing things on your website, as you guys all know, is tedious and complex and can have a lot of like positive or negative effects. And so playing around with landing pages and different campaigns is a great way to learn, like, okay, we're using this messaging on our landing page. Yeah, it's only going to a few thousand people versus like the traffic we're getting to our site, but we're learning that like this messaging is really resonating with these people, and like, oh, this social proof performs better than the other. Like, and then this is valuable stuff that you can, like educated learnings you can take back to make changes on your website. And then another thing we get asked all the time is form fields. Like, how many form fields perform better and get a higher conversion rate? One thing I can say is there is no like silver bullet to anything. I can't sit here and be like, if your page is purple and has 2 form fields and has like a female with like blonde hair on it, it'll perform the best. Like, but people look for that kind of answers. But obviously, like every business is different. Every campaign is unique. But one thing we have found just by analyzing all Unbounce customer pages is that the highest conversion rate is 1 form. And that's usually what everybody tries to distill their campaigns down. Okay, let's get an email, let's get an email. That'll be the highest converting. But what's interesting is that the conversion rate actually goes down to this 4 to 7 point, and then back up at 10. So most customers are kind of in this cozy 4 to 5, because that's usually the basic you need, right? First name, last name, company, email. But another, like again, when you're considering your entire campaign experience and what your goal is, your goal doesn't, if your landing page goal is lead gen, but like for your business, it's new customers, right? So if you're gonna get more qualified customers down here in the 10 form fields, and yeah, your landing page is converting lower, but you're getting better customers in the long run, this is again just something to consider with like the full picture of your campaign. So it's not just like, okay, we're getting everyone's email, but 70% of those are shit, and like Yahoo emails we're never gonna use. So again, it goes down to testing these things, but also just like having the ability to test them, and don't be afraid to kind of make big drastic changes. Mobile, I was like starting to talk about mobile facts in my presentation. I realized I'm at Mobify, and you guys are all in eCommerce, so you know more about like how important mobile is than I do. So you know it's important. Like 1 in 2 people, if you look at all the stats, are like visiting e-commerce sites on their mobile device. But one thing I found that was kind of interesting is, so people start on their mobile phone because that's where they're opening emails, but a lot of the time they're going back to your website to purchase there. So what landing pages are great for, if instead of sending people to your website from their mobile phone, which as we all know is a shitty experience, even if you have a mobile optimized website, like no one's gonna navigate through tabs and you know, a million different click-throughs. But if you just have like a nice clean landing page that just has like clear what the offer is, a nice big CTA, and that's your goal, then they're kind of getting warmed up again. Okay, I get this, like I get what this campaign's about, or I get what this brand is about, and then they're coming back, and then they'll purchase on your website and make that happen there. But landing pages are a great way to customize your mobile experience, and then people can like go back to purchase on your website later. And then designing for mobile, again, I was writing this and I'm like, you guys know. But again, sometimes it's a good reminder, keep copy short and sweet. Like, take out as much copy as you possibly can. Another thing is add more white space. Like, especially on mobile, if you get overwhelmed by colors and images through testing, it's proven that that doesn't perform as well as just more white space. And that's something marketers are so guilty of, right? Every person in the company wants to add like their thing here, their thing there. Like, why don't we have an image of all 3 of our customer personas? It's like, have 3 different landing pages for each customer persona, and like just try to make it like a clean, refined experience. So white space is awesome on mobile, and then obviously like fast load times. And then one thing that's great about Unbounce, one of many, you can easily make your pages. So this landing page will be on one URL, but you just toggle over here, and you can switch to the mobile version of your page, and you can hide elements on the desktop page and not and have them be on mobile, but show up on desktop. Sorry, I think I said that backwards. So you'll have your web page, landing page, and you can keep that as is, optimized for desktop, and then toggle to mobile, and maybe like I want that page to be half as long, or I want to strip out a bunch of the images. I can hide that stuff so that it doesn't show up on mobile, so it's a better experience, but then it'll be there for desktop. And that's really easy. It's all drag and drop. No development needed. And you can also, with Unbounce, add any scripts you need or CSS. But yeah, that's, again, just an easy way to, like, no excuses, again, lazy marketing. If you're like, oh, well, like, building for mobile is hard, and, like, we'd have to create a whole new page for it. No, like, it's the same page. You move around some things, consider the experience on mobile, and it's not as hard as you think. So Birchbox is another Unbounce customer. Again, like, this doesn't look great. It's very high converting. But again, it's just like, that's what they need to know, right? It's just like, okay, that's the deal. Discover beauty better. Apparently no more than 4 words in your headline is like optimal for mobile. And then it's learn more, right? When you're getting an email about a deal, that's all you want to know. Like, okay, this is what it is. Click here to get it. Bam. Again, sending people from a mobile device to a website is not the best experience. And then A/B testing. So this is one A/B test that our in-house CRO ran for Unbounce. So we had a sales page. So we've been using the same variation of this sales page for years and years. So basically, any paid ads, or anytime we're just selling Unbounce as a product, we send traffic to here instead of our website. And after about a month or two of research, and he built all these hypotheses around like what we needed to change. So we tested a longer page. We also tested, we didn't have any navigation at the top there, and we added a navigation, but it's only to the same page. So it just anchors down to whatever section you're looking at. So you're not actually taking people away. You're not, so the attention ratio thing, it's okay if you have like navs or other links, if it's like helping people get through the page and helping like improve the experience. And yeah, so we tested this page. We added some more customer testimonials. We added templates because we added a survey widget, and we found a lot of people were asking about templates, so jumping to our website. So we included like these additional sections, and we got 157% increase in click-throughs on this page. So there are like 1,071 things to A/B test. Again, there's no silver bullet. Like I can't but the thing is to do it. So many businesses launch their campaign and no one think it can be better. You kind of just move on to the next one. But don't be afraid to test. And also another thing people are guilty of is, okay, well I'm gonna A/B test a green button versus a red. Like make big changes. Like, okay, I think our product is viewed this way. No, I think it should be like this. Test entirely two different like messaging, copy, customer testimonials, imagery, like information hierarchy of the page. Like, don't be afraid to do like 2 big changes because you're not gonna learn that much by just changing like a button color. Okay, people prefer green, let's move on. You know, like that's not gonna impact the success of your other campaigns, so don't be afraid to make big changes. And you can go to this link after, because sometimes it is fun. I know Clearly Contacts uses Unbounce, and the guy that used to run their marketing, he said, I think on Friday over beers, they would all get together and just be like, what should we test, guys? And they'd all just be like, let's test this. And they'd run the campaign over the weekend, so their bosses were all like not paying attention, and then just like Sunday night, like peek and see what the results were. And sometimes they'd be awesome, sometimes they'd fail, but like the fact was that they did it, and like the times when they were more successful, it made their business that much better, right? You're applying those learnings to your other campaigns. Otherwise, you're just doing like the status quo forever. A great tool, if you guys haven't heard of it, is Hotjar. They're like an up-and-coming startup that I think are going to explode in like the next 6 months once more people find out about them. But they're pretty cheap to use right now. So a big question I get asked all the time, so if some of you guys are startups, it's like, what can I A/B test if I don't have enough traffic yet? Because usually the like scientific A/B test is you need at least like 1,000 conversions to have like a high confidence rating on your test. But there's a lot of research you can do. You can do heat mapping, right? How are people interacting with your page? You can add a little pop-up survey that's like, hey, what were you looking for? And learn information that way. You can see where people are bouncing on your page. And Hotjar is basically like all these tools, like Qualaroo, Crazy Egg, a bunch of these user testing tools into one for a cheap price. So like we use them for all of our tests right now, and so this is your answer. And you also can do it in tandem. So not only just running a full A/B test, but also be like doing research on your page as you're running an A/B test. And always like be getting feedback from people as they're on the page, right? That's the most valuable information you can get. Okay, so ways to use landing pages for e-commerce campaigns. Because a lot of times all I hear is like it's a sales page and that's it. Or like one product page and that's it. But no, Dollar Shave Club, Unbounce customer. Do you guys know Taboola? So it's like if you want to promote your content on other sites, it's like a paid platform to do that. So Dollar Shave Club has embedded like a blog type article on a landing page to promote through Taboola, because it has to be content that you're promoting through their platform. So you read this article, and then they have like a sneaky little like sign up for Dollar Shave Club at the end of this. So again, if you're sending people to a blog post through Taboola, they're going to read the blog post and then see a million other things or have a million options and then leave. Whereas here, okay, you're like telling me more about exactly what I am interested in, so I am your target customer. And then it's a nice little like, hey, it couldn't be simpler than just signing up for 1, 2, 3. So that's a really creative way to use a landing page, and we use it for Taboola as well. So paid content promotion. Targeted campaigns obviously is huge. Like I said, different customer personas, right? If you have students, like Unbounce has at least 2 personas, many more than that, but marketing agencies and then marketing teams, and even like startups. So it's like the messaging and value prop and like what's going to appeal to those 3 groups is vastly different, right? Like the problem we're solving for agencies is a lot different than the problem for a startup, right? For startup, it's like, okay, an affordable, quick solution if you don't have like money for a developer. Whereas an agency, it's like 10 times your revenue for your client, or increase your client conversions by like 5,000% with Unbounce. You know, like that's huge. Whereas if we send all these people to the website or to one landing page, they're not going to convert and they're not going to understand like how we're going to help them individually and personally. So targeted campaigns, Indochino pop-up shops. So if you guys, we use landing pages for all of our events. So again, instead of sending, who's seen like an Eventbrite page? It's the worst experience ever. I'm shocked they still do that. But it's like, just like, here's the text about the event, maybe a little image in the corner, a map up top, and then like, okay, sign up. Whereas like a landing page, it's like, this is our brand, this is what you're gonna get. Like, this is the experience you're gonna have. Like, this is how exciting it is. You can't do that on an Eventbrite page. Like, and again, with event marketing, that's huge. And a lot of, like, e-commerce, any companies do it. Like, we do a lot of community events in town, conferences, pop-up shops for e-commerce. So this is another landing page that has performed well. And then, again, dynamic text replacement at the top. Suit Up Boston. That exact same page can be used to the 27 cities that they all go to. One other page. So for me, for co-marketing and partnerships, landing pages are a dream. That co-branded guide I did with Campaign Monitor, if we had to work through our developers on our website to get that guide up, that would have been a nightmare, like an absolute nightmare. So if you need to like co-brand content, so I do a lot of ebook swaps. So I'll have existing content, I'll reach out to a complementary partner, hey, can we get this in front of your audience? In return, we'll promote something of yours to our audience. Do you know how easy it is to take a landing page where I had this piece of content, like drag and drop their logo on it, and there you go. And it looks like I've created this campaign just for them. It took me 2 seconds. And so same thing, Dollar Shave Club partnered with Uber, and it's a way better experience. Like, this is a targeted campaign. Like, this is what people want out of it. Both partners are sending traffic to it. So another thing that's nice is sometimes it's kind of like a neutral thing. Because if I'm working with a partner, like say Campaign Monitor, and they were sending an email that sent traffic to our website, it would kind of be like, well, I don't know about that. So it's kind of this like neutral space. We can both have a CTA on it. Both of our logos at the top, so it's kind of like an equal playing field when you're doing co-marketing campaigns. And so they've been really awesome for partnerships. Jawbone uses us. Discount offers, so that's huge in e-commerce, right? Clearly Context. Like, that is how they grew to where they were. Like, all these crazy discount offers and Facebook ads all run through landing pages on Unbounce. So yeah, if you want to offer discounts, they're an amazing way to do that. And then international markets. This is something people don't think about. Like, let's test the waters in Germany. You don't need to like translate your entire site and product. We're actually in Germany right now, and we're doing little things like this too. We have a marketer that's going out there, speaking at events, doing social media, but we haven't touched our website or product. We just have a couple landing pages that are in German, and we're trying those out. So again, it's kind of a nice way to get out there and test new markets without too much like time or development. Social contests. That's huge for e-commerce, so any social contest you're running. I tried to find a good e-commerce example, and I couldn't, because a lot of them are sending it to their website, and it's just like a bunch of heavy text. But like a social contest to get people excited and involved, and again, like that's your one campaign goal, is share the crap out of this campaign. Like, this is such a delightful experience, right? So Unbounce, I partnered with Wistia, and we went to MozCon. So Moz is a huge marketing conference in Seattle. So it was an in-person social contest, and the goal was to take a selfie with as many new people that you met at the conference, tweet it, and then you would entered to win a $1,000 flight to anywhere in the world. And it blew up. Like, people were taking selfies and didn't even know why at a certain point, because everybody in the conference was taking selfies, and we printed little cards as well. Physical cards to hand out that link to this landing page so people could learn more about the contest. So this is Banjo and Matilda. It's like a cashmere company in Vancouver, or in Australia. But loyalty programs is another good one, right? You're running a campaign through email or social, build your loyalty program. That's all you want people to do, so just let them do it, right? Don't give them a million other options. And Harry's, another Unbounce customer, charity campaign. So they're doing a campaign for Movember. And again, instead of like, it doesn't make sense to change things on your website for these campaigns, because what if organic traffic stumbles across it, right? This is for targeted campaigns. You know where you're promoting this. You know what you're promoting. You have control over it. So send them to a dedicated experience. And these are other things. So customer workshops, webinars, seasonal campaigns, Black Friday, holiday campaigns. Somebody was just bitching about like, oh man, I got like 50,000 holiday websites I need to create for like my customers, for my clients. It's like, just create landing pages. You don't need to develop them. And again, it's just like an easier way to get stuff out there quickly for like a million different use cases. Ebooks, guides, new product launches. So it's huge. Like if you have one product, so if you're like a Kickstarter campaign or something like that, a landing page is perfect. That's exactly what you need. You have one goal that you want people to complete. Email newsletters. So if you're just wanting to build your newsletter, if you looked at that original Indochino page, in the footer, there's like a tiny, in most websites, it's like, hey, here's where you can sign up for an email newsletter. But like run a campaign around that. And like, what are you gonna get if you sign up for your newsletter? Here's the cool content we have. Here's social proof that it's awesome. So yeah. One last landing page is unbounce.com/eCommerceVan. If you go there, it's for y'all. And you'll get a 50% off discount for 3 months to check out Unbounce. And I suggest you do. Social proof is basically just like other people that are using your product and are like willing to vouch for it. So it's not that if you don't have real social proof, that's not the worst thing. I probably shouldn't be saying this, but you can probably fake it a little bit. But I mean, it's not the worst thing. The important thing is like having it look like legit and reputable. Like don't have John Smith say like, this is the greatest product of my life. And it's like either no photo or some like stock photo of a white guy. Like try to like make it as authentic as you can. Like try to have a photo that isn't like this polished model photo. Like you don't want people to feel skeptical. You want them to trust your brand, trust that what you're saying is true, which is funny because I just said fake it, but but there are ways like around it if you want, like if you're a startup, I always like say fake it till you make it if you're a startup. So like get your friend to tweet something nice about your product and throw that on your landing page. But again, even if you have any written like positive social proof, that you can still use it. It's not like, don't disregard it. It's just a matter of like making sure it says like you're solving the problem that your customers do have and that it looks like legit. So landing pages aren't the best for organic traffic. Like I wouldn't recommend it. Again, it's for targeted campaigns. But there are ways, like you can add title and metadata and keywords and make sure like your page is indexed if you want to. So like there's those elements and like the same sort of SEO principles apply. Not always. Like social, we'll run social campaigns to a landing page. If it's an event, like we'll post events on Meetup.com, where then you're sent to a landing page, and that's the experience you get. Email is huge for like where we send traffic. It just depends like where your main traffic source is and how you promote campaigns. If it's paid, then yeah, that's a huge one. But I mean, for Unbounce, I would say it's pretty split between email and paid now. Dwayne's just started like 6 or 8 months ago. So like we're ramping up our paid every month, but email has been our largest channel to date. I still think there's room, like we said, there's still people like shopping on their websites, and we're responsive. So I mean, you can build for both experiences. I don't think we would ever be like mobile only. But yeah, right now you can build for both, and that's been like, we used to not be responsive. So like, funny story, we built our platform 6.5 years ago when like only Mobify was thinking about mobile. So we were just like, oh, we'll have this nice little desktop landing page builder. And then 3 years ago, we're kind of like, oh shit, like there's this mobile thing happening, and now like building a WYSIWYG editor, not that I know personally, but is like a lot of work. And so to like rebuild it and re-architect it, even just to be responsive, was a big undertaking for us. So that took almost 2 years to rebuild those pieces just so we could be responsive. So I would say in terms of like mobile stuff, that's not like where we're looking right now to the future. I think the biggest thing is just like expanding our platform in general. Because right now landing page is just a piece of like the marketing funnel, right? So it's like, so now we're actually, I think I can just say this, but Rooster is a local company that we acquired, and they do exit pop-ups. So you'll soon be able to like easily drag and drop an exit pop-up on a landing page. So I think adding those more like widgets and features to just like extend the functionality of what you're already doing in Unbounce is like where we're headed for now. But I mean, this is tech and like, who knows?